community. This community provides a great opportunity for teachers or lecturers to share or get new information about teaching English, especially English for specific purposes. Today's sharing session is about materials development in ESP. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself to you all. I am Fiqih Kartika Murni from Universitas Bharmada, Slawi, as your Master of Ceremony for today. I also would like to greet the Honorable Ibu Lulu Ismawati M. Hum and Bapak Dwi Nugroho M.Pd as the Chairman of Indonesian ESP Teachers Community. Our speakers, Ibu Ima Normalia Kusmayanti M.Pd from Telkom University, Ibu Surip Haryani M.Pd from STIKES Madani, and of course our moderator, Ibu Desi Indriana M.Pd from Universitas Aisyiyah Yogyakarta, and all the participants today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to read the agenda for today's sharing sessions. The first agenda is opening sessions. The second is singing national anthem of Indonesia. The third agenda is photo sessions. The next is welcoming speech for the second chairman for the Indonesian ESP teachers community. The fifth is our main agenda for today is the sharing sessions. The next agenda is the announcement for the committee, and the last agenda is closing. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, to open the agenda this morning, let us all pray according to our respective religions. The praying begins. Okay, done. Now, move to the next agenda, singing national anthem Indonesia Raya. Okay, thank you. The next agenda is the welcoming speech will be delivered by Bapak Dwi Nugroho M.Pd as the second chairman of Indonesian ESP Teachers Community. Pak Dwi, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Ibu Fiqih. Good morning, Bapak Ibu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
On behalf of Indonesian ESP Teachers Community Event Committee, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time to attend the Indonesian ESP Teachers Community Sharing Session number 10. Before we immerse ourselves in the discussions and insights that await us, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the dedicated committee members who have worked sincerely to organize this event. Their hard work and commitment have set the stage for this meaningful occasion, and we are truly grateful for their efforts. A special note of appreciation goes to our Master of Ceremony, the graceful Ibu Fiqih Kartika M.Pd from Universitas Bharmada in Slawi, and to our esteemed moderator, Ibu Desi Indriana M.Pd from Universitas Aisyiyah in Yogyakarta, whose expertise will help steer our discussion in the right direction. We are so looking forward to welcoming other ESP teachers community members to take part as the Master of Ceremony, moderator, and or presenter to share their best practices in the next sharing sessions. If you are willing to take this opportunity, Bapak Ibu, please let the committee know, and we are glad to accommodate that opportunity. Bapak Ibu, the focal point of today's event is a topic that has consistently garnered interest and curiosity, which is materials development in ESP. This is indeed one of the most requested topics, and we are fortunate to have gathered here with the aim of deepening our understanding in this crucial area. And we are privileged this morning to have two distinguished speakers who will share their insights and expertise with us. Therefore, our sincere gratitude goes to our dedicated speakers for today's session. Ibu Ima Normalia Kusmayanti SS.M.Pd from Telkom University in Bandung, and Ibu Surip Haryani M.Pd from STIKES Madani in Yogyakarta. Their commitment to sharing their expertise with us is truly commendable, and we are blessed to have such knowledgeable individuals contributing to our discussion. Now, let us embrace this moment with open minds and eager hearts. Together, let's enjoy the wealth of knowledge that will be shared during this ESP sharing session number 10. Together, let's make this ESP sharing session number 10 a memorable and fruitful experience. Thank you so much, and let the session begin.
Okay, thank you, Pak Dwi. Okay, we are continuing. The next agenda is about the photo session. So please, everyone, activate your camera in order to get your beautiful and handsome face. Okay, here we go. We will start from this room. The community, please get ready to take the photo. Get ready on it. I'll count down from 3, 2, 1. Okay, second, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, is that okay?
Thank you.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we will move to our main agenda for today. That is to hear the speaker sharing sessions. There will be two speakers for today. Ibu Ima Normalia Kusmayanti M.Pd from Telkom University will be explained about ICLHE principles in developing EMI materials, and Ibu Surip Haryani M.Pd from STIKES Madani will talk about development strategies for ESP-based materials and assessment in English language learning. And the sharing sessions will be moderated by Ibu Desi Indriana M.Pd from Universitas Aisyiyah Yogyakarta. Please welcome Ibu Desi. Are you here?
Yes, thank you, Ibu Vicky.
And now the session is on your hand, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Bapak Ibu. I'm Desi from the Language Development Center of Universitas Aisyiyah Yogyakarta, and I will be your moderator today. In today's session, we're going to have two distinguished speakers delivering topics on materials developments in ESP. In the first 30 minutes, we will listen to Ibu Ima Normalia Kusmayanti M.Pd from Telkom University, and she's going to deliver a talk on integrating content and language in higher education principles in developing AMI materials. And then afterwards, we will have Ibu Surip Haryani M.Pd from STIKES Madani, Yogyakarta. We'll talk about development strategies for ESP-based materials and assessment in English language learning. And if you have any questions during the presentations, please type them in the chat box. Please include your name along with your question, and the Q&A session will take place after both talks conclude. Now, let me provide a brief introduction to our first speaker, Ibu Ima. She was born in Subang, West Java, and she now lives in Bandung. She earned her Bachelor in English Literature and Master of Education from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. She is currently pursuing a doctoral degree at Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, majoring language education. Ibu Ima has been teaching at Telkom University for more than 10 years, and the subjects she teaches are English for Global Career Readiness and English for Academic Writing at the Faculty of Industrial Engineering. I know Bapak Ibu is very excited to get into her presentation. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Ibu Ima.
All right. Well, thank you for your kind introductions, Mbak Desi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I only have 30 minutes, so I hopefully can make effective use of the time. Let me share the screen. Okay. And let me put it in the play mode. All right. Okay. Well, first thing first, I'm really excited to join ESP community, or English for Specific Purposes. This actually has been one of my dreams, and I'm really glad that Bululuk is the pioneers of this community, can help us grow together. So I'm pretty sure that when you see the term ICLHE, and even when you try to pronounce it, it's a little bit difficult, right? Because all consonants goes together. But hopefully today you'll be able to understand what is the concept of OSF, and I really hope that by the end of my presentation, you're going to say, aha, okay, that's what she meant by that. And then there's just a glimpse of ICLH principles that hopefully you can implement in your own context or in your own classrooms. Now, so ICLHE actually stands for integrating content and language in higher educations. I'm pretty sure that in Indonesians, probably most of you are already familiar with the term CLIL, right? And so in terms of research, I've discovered that in European context, CLIL are mostly used in primary and secondary schools. And even though CLIL term was actually coined in the year of 1994, if I'm mistaken, by David Marshall. So a decade later, Robin Wilkinson coined this terminology just to indicate the different contexts. The integrations of content and language in higher educations is definitely, it's going to be more complex because we're talking about specific discipline. And recently in the year of 2020, if you're really interested in, expanding your knowledge and experience in material development, more research is actually in the area of MS-MUS. Now this one is easier to pronounce, right, guys? So this one could be, related in your context, because whenever you teach, especially in my campus, and even to myself, Indonesian is actually my second language. So English is like the third language. So we're dealing not just with bilingualism, but also we deal with multilingualism. So as an SP teachers, when we see these terminologies, CLIL, ICLHE, and MMOS, we're like, okay, so we're not just dealing with English as a subject, but we are going to expand them as English as a medium to deliver another subjects. Now, I'm actually really happy that to learn this terminology, and I'm trying to ease the pronunciations of the terminologies by saying ICLHE, ICLHE, okay. So because we as a lecturer And especially if you have a background in educations, pedagogical and methodological issues has always been our greatest concern. Sometimes if you do not have educational background and you become a lecturer, it's like you learn on your own ropes, right? You learn like through experiences. And this has become one of your greatest challenges too, to even tackle the part of pedagogy, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure that some of us here are actually in the green area, just like me, or some of you actually in the pink area, where you're actually teaching content. Now, where is the ICLH located in the language and content continuum? This is actually, if you remember the emergence of content-based instruction, right? So it is actually still included in the English language teaching, which the focus is the language. And right now, it's the mushrooming of international class programs. If you are in, teaching in institutions or university, there are lots of study programs using English, right, to teach the subjects, or we call it ME. And most likely that it will focus on content only. Now, if you are already familiar with CLIL, so it's not going to be difficult for you to actually replace CLIL with ICLHE if your teaching context is in higher educations, because it's pretty much similar, okay? So at one hand, you as a language teacher could be the driver. At the other hand, the content teacher, content lecturer is actually the driver. And when it comes to ICLH pedagogy, it's not just approach. It could be considered as approaches, everybody, and has something to do with content adaptation. If you think about it, it will be is it possible that when we use another language, for example, English, and we want to explain a subject, and it might distort the meaning when you actually explain it in Bahasa? That could happen, right? And we need to carefully consider that. And I'm pretty sure if you are just like me, an English lecturer in industrial engineering department, most likely you are going to be assigned to design a course or even a program. And then the last one, and I'm really excited to listen to our next presenter, because hopefully she will explain how is it that we can assess content and language at the same time, because that is actually one of the aspects of the ICLHE. And why, why should we actually use ICLHE in our teaching context? Now, as we know, if you're familiar with Kachru's, three circle models, Indonesia, the role of English in Indonesia, even though out there, it is as lingua franca, in academia, still, for us, we are non-native English speakers. And in our context, most likely, us as a non-native English speakers, we teach the subject to students who probably share the same background as us, and the location is in non-English speaking countries. And of course, as anybody else's teachers out there, this is our expectation, right? What we plan, what we process to reach the goal is as smooth as this one. But the truth is, exhaustive research said that any classroom could only be successful, or students can achieve their maximum potential in academic performance if they have this aspect or these factors: high English proficiency, academic skills, and for lecturers, they have linguistic, content, and pedagogical strategies. Now, even though most of the research focusing on the content lecturers, meaning it's a non-language lecturers, but I'm pretty sure it's a switch, positions, for us language lecturers, because for me, I'm including ME as we ESP lecturer teach English to non-English department student. And this is our reality, right, everybody? Every time we plan a lesson, we're like imagining the smooth road, but what we're facing is like this. This is what happens. For most cases, especially most of my colleagues in my campus, is that teaching in English is not just simply translating the English language. So most of us, we don't know how, to adapt our comfortable teaching in Indonesian, and we transform them into teaching in English. And some of them are still struggling until now and try to cope, but it is a mandatory from the institution. Now, the next one is from the students. Now, Richard said that ideally speaking, when students enrolled in ME program, they need to be ready for language, right? Now, according to the exploratory research conducted by LAM, it's a collaboration with Kemendikbud, if I'm mistaken, with British Council. So they discovered that out of 24 universities in Indonesia, there are only 2 universities requiring students with IELTS minimum 6, if I'm mistaken, or 6.5. The other one, there are no standardizations. And it's the same in my campus too. So sometimes, so when I teach like students in the first year, I'm really surprised, like when I discover they have like TOEFL 450. And you can imagine what kind of interactions that we can have in the classroom with student with that TOEFL score, which does not really indicate the speaking or even writing skills, right, everybody? So this is the reality that we are facing. So this is the reason why I think I'm going to ask all of you today in this Zoom room to embrace ICLHE in your own ME classroom, because hopefully what we expect meet the reality. So how can we use ICLHE in our classroom? Now, if you're familiar with hard CLIL and soft CLIL, so I'm just going to adopt them in this context. So if you are content lecturer, you are going to actually include or involve the principle, the processes, design, implement, evaluate, that you are going to balance your subject and the English learning objectives. Meanwhile, if you are just like me, lecturer of language or English, so I am going to actually see or include and reinforce some of the subject learning objectives. And this is truthfully even new to most of my colleagues and even I. What's the most difficult part is that even though I'm teaching industrial engineering, in most cases, I still don't know in which subjects, for example, that the students are required to do more writing, more speaking, or at the end of the course, they will just have to do a multiple choices question. Because the most important part is that when we discover that student needs to do, for example, the final assignments in the form of essay or in the form of papers, and I think that's where we come in, right? Language. So, but what happens? And the reality is that, content lecturers say, I don't teach language. Language is not my responsibility. Do your best to understand me. Here, I provide my PPT, watch my video again that is available in the LMS Learning Management System, or learn elsewhere. Just make sure that you understand the materials that I deliver. And on the other hand, English lecturers just like us will say, at this very moment, we are lacking, right, ESP training. If you're graduating from Indonesian universities, just like me in the year of early 2000, we only have like 2 to 4 credits when it comes to English for specific purposes. But hopefully in many universities in Indonesia nowadays, you can select or it becomes your elective, right, to learn English for specific purposes, and you have like more than 20 credits to learn in college before you graduate and decide to become an ESP teacher or lecturers. And at the same time, we really do not have enough grasp on our students' specific discipline. You know, like in my case, sometimes I need to learn about industrial engineering. There are a lot of things that I need to learn. And sometimes I'm even frustrated on myself because, oh, it's a different kind of languages that my student need, right? Now, and the one thing that we can agree upon is that we teacher can become a material developer. It's like embedded to us, right? Automatically. Believe it or not, I think in developed countries, the material developer is, have their own career position. So it's a little bit different from us, yeah. And even as material developers, you need to have like experiences, years and years of experiences, 5 to 10 years. And if you notice lots of textbook, right, from other countries, you notice at the back of their brief bibliography, they will say like 5 to 25 years of teaching experiences. And I really hope that all of us here, in the process of producing our own book, right, before we become professor, and even we retire, by the age of 65 or 70, we have our own textbook to share with our student. So this is, and this is quite a challenge too, because not everyone is welcome with this idea. I know that some of you are welcome. Yeah, that's really a good idea, because I cannot work on my own. Especially for me, I cannot understand everything about industrial engineering on my own. It's like I have to study then at campus, like for 4 years, maybe. That's if it's possible, yeah, if you can manage time to do that. I strongly advise you to do that. But if not, then collaborative teaching here, it's an option. But lots of scholars said it's a two-edged sword, because it could bring benefits, but it also could bring drawbacks as well. Now, it's very important for us as a lecturer. You put your positions as language lecturers, you put your positions as content lecturers. Which kind of development of materials are you going to take? Is it the first one that you're going to employ? I love the word undiluted. So anyone here, if you're coming from chemistry, or if you're coming from industrial background, later on, please help me to really understand the word undiluted. Like I'm trying to find, but here undiluted, it's like it's authentic, but at some point it's like the text, for example, coming from a magazine, as easy as that, right? Or coming from a website that is not for teaching purposes. And it's when you read it, that text, oh, you need to sort of like work really hard to use that text in your classroom. This is sometimes when my colleagues say, hey, you know what, the easiest way out is, let's just take the authentic materials, give it to our students, let them read, and we discuss the reading text together. Unfortunately, in the ICLHE's principles, that is not always the case. Yeah. And the second one is adapt. And I think the second one, according to research, this is the most chosen material development, especially for pre-service teachers, so I'm mistaken, right? Or new teachers, and also busy teachers. I like to call it busy teachers. Yeah, busy teachers love to choose the second option. Adapt authentic materials in line with the teaching goals. So you can alter, you can change the text, you can actually just take the portion of it, you can make questions from it, and etc. etc. And C is those who are passionate about material development. Hopefully, some of you guys here are in line with me. The C, what? You are passionate about material development. One of the factor that stop teacher to pursue the C, it's time. Yeah, 24 hours for teachers seem like just 10 hours. Yeah, personally, for me, I need more than 24 hours. I think I need 32 hours in a day. But it's like, oh, it's the next day. Yeah. Yes. Creating materials from scratch, showing your originality, it's quite a challenge, and especially for us as NNEs, non-native English speakers, right? There is always a doubt in us. What we make, is it can be understood by native speakers. What we make have met all of the required standards. But I really hope that here in ESP community, we are going to help one another, especially in doing more works in the C part. Yeah. Now, next one, And this is really important, everybody, because in order to understand and to implement the ICLHE's principle later, which I'm going to show you, is that you need to see from the beginning, right, and until up this point, because it does not only involve you as a language lecturer, and it does not only involve you as a content lecturer. It has to involve two at least, content and language, or language and content, depending on the course that you are going to develop. And sometimes one of the issues in Indonesia, it has something to do with commitment. So you are excited at the very beginning, right? And then you know that you're not really compatible with your partners, and soon you're draining, you're tired, and things like that. You're busy with other agendas. And even though it's, you really want it to be done, and it's part of your personality that you always finish what you start off. And I think it's really important for me, you ask your institution to prepare to produce a formal mechanism. Selection, what is the term? Surat tugas, yeah. Even for some of us, surat tugas doesn't really matter, right? Doesn't really provide a great impact, but at least that will provide us with a commitment that you are assigned to collaborate with your colleague to create an ME learning materials within a month, 2 months, or semester. The second one, this is very important. Before actually you ask your institution to produce or release surat tugas, very important for you to find someone that is compatible to you, both in terms, especially in terms of personalities. I like Makaya et al. Point out in terms of personalities, because even though you are assigned by your institution, but you soon discover that you're not really compatible, the discussions will not work very well. So your material design will be just going very slow. It's not in accordance with what you wish to have. And this is what's really important too. Remember when I mentioned earlier, if you are preparing a language course, then as a language lecturer, you are the person in charge, or you are the driver. And so your co-driver or co-pilot is going to be your content lecturer, or vice versa. You're actually preparing learning materials for example, calculus. So, and you are actually the co-pilot of your calculus lecturer. So the two of you really need to understand your roles, the roles and expectations. And that should be set out since the very beginning. Yeah, since the very beginning, like how much roles, how much responsibility do you have within the timeline of your assignment. The next one. Now, this is actually a part, when I haven't actually told Mbak Nana or even Bu Lulu that ICLHE, principles that here is actually a huge part of my dissertations, everybody, which is still an embryo. Now, Makaro, set out 9 pairs of lecturers in Turkish universities, but I'm not sure whether it will work in Indonesian. But his CPT, and if you're interested to use these tools, you can actually contact me. Now, this CPT, it's like a planner, right? That the two of you, or you and with your colleague, can agree upon, like meet daily, weekly, or things like that, making sure that all of your plan from the very beginning to create your ME materials right on deadline. Right, guys, so this is very interesting. I actually, some of my colleagues are not really used to this CPT. Sometimes they just, would go as what is it? How do you say it? Yeah, your plan and your execution, sometimes they do not match. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah. Now, and the last part is that now, hopefully, when you work with your colleague and you become a partner in your ME material development, it's not just a one time. Yeah, it should be like continuous collaborations, building not building network anymore. So I believe it's strengthen your collaboration. It's like when you're producing English for calculus, English for what are the physics, English for chemistry, English for nursing, English for tourism, English for, and there's a small part, right? Tourism is like the big picture, and there's like a small aspect of tourism. It's going to be very strong. Why? Because it's coming from language aspect and content aspect. And I haven't found any textbook in Indonesia. It is usually written by just one person. And I would definitely guess, oh, this person is actually having, yes, ESP backgrounds. Maybe this person involved, content lecturers, for example, but it's not equal share. Yeah, it's like a one-time check at the end and things like that. So I really hope that this ESP community, we can once again produce many ME learning materials for especially international ICP, international course programs, or we call it international class programs, right, in your institutions up to come. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are many, right? So here are several of the principles that I discovered, and I'm going to highlight from the 6 of the principles what's really important for us as a language lecturers, because the others I need to experience it first. Yeah, the other 5 I'm going to show it to you what they are, but it's not going to be explained very thoroughly. So the first one is in many cases, of course, when you are preparing ESP, the language is always addressed, right? But when you take a look at some of the content ME materials, the language is actually neglected. Yeah. So this is very important for both of us as language and as content lecturer. Why? Because it will help the student to understand what sort of expectations that they will going to have in the lesson. If they take a look at it, I'm not sure, please raise your hand or write in the chat. Have you heard the term CDF, or what we call it as cognitive discourse function? Hold on. See if I, put it my keynote as play, I cannot see the participants. And by the way, Miss Moderator, like how many minutes do I still have?
Oh, sorry, 12 more minutes.
Okay.
I forgot to unmute myself.
That's okay. All right. I'm glad. Okay. So anyone here is familiar with the term CDF or cognitive discourse function? It was, proposed by an Austrian professor, Dalton Puffer. And it's actually a huge part of my dissertation as well, but I'm not going to reveal too much, everybody, because I'm still in the process of learning. Hopefully, by the next ESP session next year, Buluk will invite me again. I will definitely can share with you about the whole concept. But CDF, it's a combination of a thinking skill, whether you realize it or not. And, personally, I just realized it. You know what? I've never really think about it. When I ask my student to define, like how much definition skills that my student actually show in the realizations, in the verbalizations of their either written languages. Spoken languages, if we record it, yes, we can actually notice. But if not, cannot really quite grasp the whole thing. But in written, should be very easy to see whether the students have managed to show college level definition skill, for example. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what I call solo taxonomy. It's an expansion of Bloom taxonomy. I'm sure everyone here is already familiar with Bloom's taxonomy, but in higher educations, in UK higher education, they started to adapt Soho taxonomy to actually see the level of, I could say like answer. In terms of quantitatively, even though I don't know, it doesn't measure the quality. It's like, when the student answers shorter and the student answers longer, right? It could say it's like, oh, okay, so these two students show a different definition. Now, looking into the quality, the CDF here, whether the students will be able to actually define and explain different types of cybercrime. Yeah, if you remember from CLIL, the 4C frameworks, anyone remember? Yeah, the 4C framework from CLIL, right? We have like content. So content here, we actually decided the subject specific knowledge, or here at least we could decide like what's the topic that we are going to decide for our ME materials. So similarly, in the LCS concept, you choose the topic or you choose the subject specific. Here, the subject specific, you can guess, cybercrime is an example of learning materials for system information students. So since system information students, they need to learn about cybercrime. And what's really interesting for me as a language lecturer is in the linguistic structures, is that through enough, I think we've done this only in the last 2 years with my colleagues when we try to insert the language structures into our learning materials. It's an exhaustive processes, everybody, but it's very useful for our student. We try to identify what are the primary language structures that students can use to define, to explain. Yeah. So it's very interesting for me, truthfully. So for example, as you can see here, if the student managed to use the use of an important aspect or crime ranges from, and they show that in their work, for example, in their writings. So it means that one of the learning goals of your learning materials is actually accomplished. And the next part is academic vocabulary. And this is also very interesting too. How many of you actually always include academic vocabulary into your, what we call here, if you see the structure, this is an example of lesson plan, into your lesson plan. You really identify the academic vocabulary that your students need to know during the lesson. You make sure that this is within the range that your student probably it's a new. If you choose like 10 vocabularies, you're still okay if your student already know 3, yeah, and they need to learn 7. Okay, it's not vice versa. If your student already know 7 and they just learn 3, it means that you choose too easy materials for your students. How many of you have done that? Please raise your hand, please. Anyone? Wow, shy cat di sini semuanya ya. Yeah. Truthfully, when you prepare lesson planning like this, it is exhaustive in the very beginning, but you can use it over and over again. At least in our university, usually we always revise our curriculum every 1 year, everybody, and then every 4 years, right? We change the whole curriculum and we try to match them with our departments, what kind of expectations that they want. And even though we're trying to combine the whole skills, listening, reading, writing, and speaking in language courses, but still we need to ask, that's for activities is okay, but for the learning goals, that will be too much. Yeah. So in the part of language should be addressed, this is one of the examples. Now, just please let me know if some of you in this room have done this. Okay, you can actually share your successful experience. Now, why do you need to do that? This is actually what's going on, everybody. The truth is, even though our students have reached, for example, score TOEFL 580 or IELTS 6, it doesn't mean that our students have sufficient academic English language that they need to study their discipline. And that's the hard fact that I learned. Right now, there are 10 study programs in my campus, and I just collected all of the English proficiency of students enrolling, freshmen enrolling. And I just realized that, roughly speaking, only about 10%, in the year of 2023, there are around 400 international class students in my campus. And only about 10% reaching TOEFL score above 550. Now, can you imagine what will the students experience, right, throughout the first year, second year, fourth year, and third year. And unfortunately, everybody, in my campus, we do not have additional language courses. So most of the courses for the international class are only 2 credits. It's mostly similar with the Indonesian medium instruction. Some of the departments provided extra credits, like 3 credits. And it's varied. Sometimes they're more focusing on speaking. Sometimes they're more focusing on writing. Varied. And then suddenly, by the time the international class students reach their 7th semester, they need to write research proposal in English, right? They need to write research report in English, right? And within those 3-4 years, no language courses are included in the curriculum. So if some of you here in this Zoom room, please let me know if your institution actually included the language course into the curriculum more than just the MKU, mata kuliah umum ya. Then your institution actually understand the concept of the ICLHE. In my campus, unfortunately not, but I'm in the process of making them aware. And it is our job, everybody, as language lecturers here, to make our institution aware. Yeah, they need to be concerned, and they need to add more services, language services. We do have external language services in our language center. So for 2 semesters, international class students receive free courses, and they can choose whether they can choose writing for IELTS section, describing chart graphics, and the 3 courses is actually for speaking, like English for discussion, English for presentation, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. So, and this is the fact, everybody. Students with high TOEFL does not really mean that they have sufficient academic English language to handle assignment in their specific discipline. And I really agree with Crandall. If students do not have access, how can they learn, right? If the lecturers, remember what the content lecturers say, I don't teach language, right? So if the students do not have access to what kind of language that they need to do the assignment, I leave that question to you. And I'd like to quote, Bauer Messenger. She's actually a high school teacher. She just finished her PhD, embedding CDFs to create learning materials in history. And I do agree. Without language, content cannot be expressed, and without content, language loses meaning. If you still remember, this is the quote from Wilkinson, right, about vocabulary and grammar. If you are coming from English department, you will always remember, without vocabulary, nothing can be conveyed, right? So this is an expansion from that quote. Without language, we cannot express content, and without content, what you say is totally meaningless. It doesn't make any sense, right? Now, the next principles, that there should be interaction promoted for language use and development. And this is quite a challenge, everybody. If you still remember, if the ME students, English proficiency is, for example, still below 500. So there are lots of what I call, if it is a game, seperti umpan ya guys. So it's like you need to prepare lots of umpan for the students to make responses, even though it's a yes, no, I don't know, 1, 2, and 3. Lots of my colleagues reported that they're frustrated, especially during this online, just right now, when I asked a question to all of you, none of you respond, or maybe hopefully the chat there is actually a response from the audiences. So that's a kind of feeling of frustrated when the interaction is expected in a classroom, right? And the students hesitant to do that. And it is our job, everybody, to prepare the materials that is actually evoking students to participate in an interaction. Without that, I don't think, in my case, some of high confidence students, which I could say very limited, are eager to participate. But most cases, none. even, you know, I tried to open up the camera using the mouse, right? And then some of the students quickly, you know, turn off the camera again, and I was just really surprised to do that. I was like, yeah, miss, is it okay for you just to hear my voice? Maybe after that I'm going to show my face. Oh, okay. So
excuse me, Ibu Emma, I'm
yes.
sorry, the time is up. Could you
Okay.
please probably wrap it up? Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. So anyway, as I mentioned earlier, hopefully in the slideshow that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to provide full examples of the principles, not just only the first one, because the first one I have done that, but the second one, third one, fourth one is still in the process, because embedding ICLHEs is something new, especially for me, even though I've known Clio, okay, for a couple of years, but it's not exactly what I had in mind. And here, the next principle is that content and language should be scaffolded. You should provide pictures, you should provide images to stimulate, to invite students to produce languages. And this one, I'm looking forward for our next presenter. Language and content should be assessed. Lots of, challenging in language part and lots of challenging in the content part if we evaluate it individually. Yeah, if the assessor is only language teacher, but we also need to assess content and vice versa. Okay. And the next one, even though some of the research said that task-based actually is not really proper for higher education, they should go for more project or problem-based, but I believe task-based still could work in any learning materials. Okay. And if you're familiar with the genre, of course, if you're in higher educations, you are exposed to more and more genre texts out there. So, and these are some of the informations that I could share with you. Hopefully they are useful and you'll be able to, grasp only, at least hopefully understand the concept of the ILCH. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you, Ibu Ima, for sharing your valuable expertise and insight with us. Let's give her a virtual round of applause, everyone. Okay, and now let's move on to the second presentation by Ibu Surip Haryani, M.Pd. Ibu Yani has been serving as an English lecturer at Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Kesehatan Madani Yogyakarta since 2017. And then she obtained her master's degree in English education from Universitas Ahmad Dahlan. Let's extend our warm welcome to Ibu Yani. Ibu Yani, you have 30 minutes and the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Allow me to have two accounts here because I have a big trouble with my computer this morning. So if I don't mind, I'm using the microphone from the other computer and the video from the other one.
Okay, no problems, Ibu.
Okay, is it really clear with my voice?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. So as maybe already mentioned, written in the flyer, that my presentation today will be about, myself. Development strategies for ESP-based materials and assessment in English language learning. Probably I'm going to be a bit different with Ibu Emia because I'm going to be very, it's only sharing about my experiences in building my material for English teaching, especially for health science students. I've been teaching since 2006 for health science students. So here I'm going to only share, not as an expert, but only as a teacher, how I develop the material building for the students, for health science students, especially. Let me have the screen for you. Excuse me for a while. Okay. Yeah. Does anybody know? Has anybody see my screen already?
I think it's still in the process. It's still dark somehow. Okay, it's showing now.
It's okay.
Okay. Okay, it's only 30 minutes, so it's going to be very fast. And really simple sharing for you. The objective of this presentation will be sharing experience with ESP-based material. And then, let me have this problem again. Okay. The topic will be 4. I'm going to show you 4 topics that I will deliver: steps on ESP material development and designing ESP-based materials, creating ESP-based assessment. This is based based on my experience in project-based assessment, and then digitalizing the learning process and result. The first point, let's move on for this first point, and steps on ESP material development. Back then on 2012, probably I made a research and development R&D that time. I was trying to develop a book, midwifery English, and then I have made it into a book right now, and from 2013. From the steps I gained based on the apa namanya, my consultant, also the steps is based on the Hudson's and the Waters, everyone has known the book, and the steps are 5 like this one: conducting need analysis, and then deciding the topic for the whole semester. Yeah, and then the third one is identifying relevant language skills, and then designing ESP-based materials at the start. And then the 5th one is making an assessment. These 5 steps, and then I always made into the step that I always made for the next material building for other majors, such as for nursing, for pharmacy, and etc. Then for conducting the analysis, I got just a simple step here that the academic affair of each institution actually always have national standard curriculum. That's why I just discuss with them what the competences that each major should have during their study in this institution. All of them, start from 2006 in Universitas Muhammadiyah, and then the other ones until now here in STIKES Madani. Now, the academic affair always show me as the English teacher to the curriculum for each major, that the competences for each semester that they will have to achieve. And for your information, in STIKES Madani, we have 5 semester for English in diploma and 6 semester for English in bachelor degree. So this is challenging and also a big burden for me to make them. This is quite long semester. So if they have nothing after 6 semester, after 5th semester, it's going to be me who will be blamed that they got nothing to show that they're able to speak in English. The goal is communicative language, of course, and of course it's they can communicate in their major as nurses, as midwives, and also as pharmacists. And then after the need analysis is conducted with the academic affair, and then the next step will be deciding the topic for the whole semester. and then I will show you the blueprint for this deciding the topics. And then the third one, after I decided the topics that are relevant for their competences in each semester, in their majors, in their subject, and the main subject, yeah, as nurses, as as they major, and then the next one, the next step will be identifying relevant language skills. The pinpoint the language skills and tasks that are more relevant. And then after the blueprint done, we come to designing section, designing ESP-based materials. The goal again is maybe the simple one, the communicative based, and then the skill-based practices. So we have the communicative material, and then reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And then that's, I think, the most basic one, yeah. And then the last one is making an assessment. Okay, here I will probably show you the example of the blueprint. How this is, again, maybe this is really not new for you guys, because this is only my experience, and here are the blueprint. Hopefully you see. Okay, the blueprint for each subject are different, because for midwifery student, they will be talking as midwife. For nursing student, they will be talking as a nurse, and the pharmacy student, they will be talking as a nurse, as a pharmacist. So during the five semester for diploma, I will have to make five lesson plan for each semester. But for some semester, I have the same the same learning outcome for all of the major. For example, here I will show you the semester 1. The ESP here is not in the health field, but still in academic life. Why is it academic life? Because they are new student, they are switching from high school to be a university student, and then they have to adapt with the many situations as a new student, as a new university student. And they have the same situation. They haven't got the medical or health subjects, but still in the very introduction part. So I have to make not health topic, but the academic English. But here I'm trying to make the academic life situation to be the topic for them, to be the material will be taught in the classroom. For example, like how to make friends in campus, how to say direction in campus. They will know many things about what they will find in campus, and also place in the city, the new city for them. And then talking about lecturers and lectures, and then also the definition of the lectures they will have during the whole year they study in the university. And then how to communicate politely with the staff and also the lecturer, and also how to handle discussion or meeting with the friends, and then also introduction to student organization. And so it's all about the campus life introduction to them. This is for the first semester. All the major has the same topic, but it will be different when they come to semester 2. When they come to semester 2, they will enter the topic of health. Nursing is, as you see in the screen, the semester for nursing is nursing English 1 and then nursing English 2, and then you will have nursing. You will see here nursing English 3, And then for semester 5, I provide the public speaking and job hunting. And then the last one will be TOEFL preparation. And then it's almost the same with we have for midwifery. So for midwifery, also the same here. Midwifery 1, yeah, but they're talking about topic of midwife from semester 2 and then semester 3, and then for semester 5 they talk about they discuss TOEFL preparation, and then semester 4, I mean, and then for semester 5 they they will present in the public speaking topic, so they have to have individual presentation and on midwifery topics, especially probably journals or papers or something related to midwifery. It's also the same for another one for also for pharmacy. Pharmacy and midwifery is the same, only 5 semester, and then they will have the last one is for TOEFL preparation. And now let me show you again probably designing. Now the step 2, after we have the blueprint of the topic, now we're going to go into the next step is designing ESP-based materials. The setting learning objectives is the main point here from the 4C, content, context, communication, and is I have to be aware and to be made into in line about the competences that they have to gain in each semester. For the discussion with in the beginning of the semester with the academic affair is how what the competences semester 4 will gain, for example, what will they do in each semester for the competences. So that's why they have to be aware of, and I have to make the blueprint very carefully. For example, again, this is the I think here is this one is the next one is creating ESP-based assessment. I'm going to show you the result of these 2 steps. After this, creating ESP-based assessment. My experience, again, and it's only my experience, always have to be project-based. The alignment with the materials and objective, designing authentic assessment tasks, and developing rubrics. I'm not going to give you in detail about the rubrics, but for the example, all skill practices will be given an example by explaining nursing procedure, role playing in workplace settings, etc. Here is the example that I told you just now. So after we decide the topic, we have to make the competencies here in this column. They have the ability of having the conversation when these are in this column are competences for them to be achieved as a midwife. It is I give you an example of midwife. Yeah, the other one is quite the same, but it's different setting as pharmacist or as nurse. This one talking about medical professional. This is still in the beginning, yeah. And then accepting a new patient admission, checking vital signs, then giving antenatal care for as they are midwifery students, and then assisting labor, how they can assist pregnant women when conducting labor or giving birth, and then visiting postpartum in the maternity room. This all situation, and also competences that they have to achieve as my subject is bahasa, means communicative product of the mouth. So we have to make them able to speak. And then talking about precaution, contraception, family planning, giving patient. These one we have all based on the competences that given by the academic affair, and based on the Miles textbook that they have as the like the main reference book as a midwife. And then the language grammar focus for each conversation, for each competences should be also decided here to be written. Okay, for this topic, for this competence, they have to talk using the main language here, for example. And then the activities for assessment, we have writing, speaking, listening, reading, etc. Here, we have to very creative in making tasks to be able to make them use the language in this based on these competences. Of course, if we talk about technical term, if we talk about these competences, there will be many technical terms that will come out and emerge here during the learnings during the process of teaching learning. Even I already made it in my book. Sometimes new term can be emerged if students something that white I mean that the topic is more abroad from this what I am talking in the class. But and then teaching ESP is always a phase of learning, because in not I learn the student how to achieve the target language, but also learn the subject they're learning. It's always new in the process, new insight, new experience, new knowledge here. And this blueprint already made into a book. I'm sorry, I have to give you an example. Like this one is already probably, I'm sorry, I have to make it like this one. Okay, here. Yeah, it made into a book. I have to make it into a book. So maybe it will be easier for the students to study in the class. And also because it made probably some years ago, I have to make some kind of not revision, but we have to now the students like to have new things in the internet, so I have to make it in line with their daily life of the students' life in kayak zaman now gitu ya. So I have to prepare everything in line with the now, what's now, what I call this, they get used to. And then the next one, sorry. Here, the steps already now, and then now I'm going to show you the last steps probably about digitalizing the learning process and result. Why I made it into digitalizing? Because 5 semester or 6 semester learning probably were going to be long for them, and I need them to make their own portfolio of learning experiences during they study in STIKES Madani. And thank God, thank you very much for Pak Dwi. I still remember I got this knowledge about book creator when Bapak Dwi present sharing session, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2 at the very beginning. ESP Teacher Association established that time. Thank you very much, Pak Dwi. This is based on your sharing session, and then I apply this to my student, but they make notes and records of their own materials, what they do during the first semester until finish in STIKES Madani. For example, maybe I can give you example here. So at the beginning of the semester, they have academic English. So they record everything they learn in the class here. This is all about the academic life for new students, especially the health science students. Why I say for the health science students? Because when I talk about a new student of health science, they will know about the terms of subjects, the terms of probably like degree meaning of their lectures, for example, like they know what the term, what the M.Pd, Ibu Diah Mulyawati M.Pd means, what is M.Pd means for them. So for health science students, it's not for general academic life, but specifically for the health science students here. They made the record for their lesson and also the production of their learning, for example, like this one. Yeah. Yeah, this one of the ways of communicative language that they have to achieve. I mean, how to be polite in communicative language, but also how to be polite in what is it like written language from WhatsApp or also for email. How to be polite when they email the lecturers or staff or something, and then how do you spend your day? This one. Yeah, the results of their subject, they put it in the record, and also the result of their uh, practice also put here. Okay, like this one. So lots of things here. And this is the second one when they come to the nursing topic here. New patient admission here, blah blah blah, and all of them are having their own record as uh, as pharmacists, as nurses, and also as midwifery students. The example of uh, learning result also given here, like how they can explain explain the procedure of giving intramuscular injection here, because it's one of the time management, because if we come one by one to all of the students, it's going to be very busy, and in fact we have to do so many things. Like we must say that some of us are busy teachers, so this is one of the management, how to make them able to practice one by one, but not always in front of us here, like the example. And then this one, the example of digitalizing the notes or record. Now come to the one, see the students' result of how they, from the first grade, the first years until the last years. But the first years, probably they practicing listening and then make it into a visual like this one. So not they themselves who speak, but they visualize, visualize the script into a video, something like this one. Yeah, because we are a religious institution, everyone here is wearing niqab, so they make like the vision and mission of our institution, they have to be religious, so the conversation should be in line with the vision and mission, like Islamic situation, so they have to make Islamic situation for the opening or during the conversation. And then the next one.
Excuse me, Ibu Yani, sorry to interrupt. You have 5
Sorry.
minutes left.
Okay, this one
Okay.
is consultation, and then the last one is probably the last semester they have to present about the journal or probably their own proposal for this one I hear. This one.
So your life needs to be treated with effective results.
Yeah. So how we the point is how we can make them to be able to speak as their major, and also how they can communicate effectively using good English and in a very simple way that they can understand. Because because they are non-English department students, so we try to make them very aware, as easy as possible to understand how to use the language in any situation that they have to perform as their as a health practitioner. Okay, this one. Okay. This is the pharmacy student handling communication, effective communication in the workplace setting. Okay, the last one. Sorry. Okay. And then, okay, for the evaluation and of course, for each project, I give them a feedback directly. They like to have the feedback directly because it's easier for them. Yeah, probably it's different for English department students. They know many things about the language, but if for non-English department, they have to be very clear and also direct in giving the feedback. And why I make it into digitalizing, because it's a burden for me to have 5 and 6 semesters to teach them in English, but I cannot show the academic affair and the proof that my student can achieve something. So I have to make everything digitalizing to be able to show them this is the result of my students' learning. Okay, thank you very much. I think this is very simple, and I'm not an expert for this, probably only for sharing, and probably all of you are much, much better than me. I hope this simple thing can have good benefit for all of you, Bapak Ibu here. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Ibu Lulu and Ibu Pak Dwi, and all who is participating in this meeting. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, thank you very much, Ibu Yani, for sharing your valuable knowledge and material development process with us today. Let's give Ibu Yani a big virtual round of applause, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And Bapak Ibu, now we're going to move on into the Q&A session, and we will have 20 minutes for this session. If you do have any questions, I encourage you to turn your camera and microphone on so that we can engage in a more interactive Q&A session. Is there anyone probably who would like to directly ask the questions to our presenter today? Okay, maybe in the meantime, we can, I will read the questions shared on the chat box. Wait, let me find Ibu Ima.
Yes, Mbak, I'm still here.
Okay, I will try to put you on the spotlight so that the audience can see.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question is from Ibu Niken. She's a private university lecturer, and she asked this question. Some students in her classes, they have different skills, yeah, different, how do you call it, English skill. Some of them, they have this advanced skills, and the other one, they have the basic ones. So her question is how to help handle this situation. Maybe Bu Ima or Bu Yani can share what you have experienced so far regarding this kind of situation.
All right. Bu Yani, would you like to answer first?
No,
Or...
you first, please.
Right, thank you. Hello, Bu Niken, are you here? Atau Mbak Niken? Are you in the Zoom room, Mbak?
Yes, she's actually still here, Ibu Niken Paramita. Would you like to unmute yourself, probably?
Ah, yes, okay. Yes,
Oh,
Mbak
okay.
Niken, this is always, what is it like, one of the challenges for us to have heterogeneous groups of students, right? Now, but again, I have to ask you, are you open to the concept of differentiated learning?
Yeah, maybe Ibu Niken,
Okay.
you can answer on the chat box since she cannot turn on her microphone.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, here is two options that you can do, Bunikan. If you're open to differentiated learning, you can actually prepare two materials. For example, the same topic, the same reading text, but the level of the language is different. So one is for your advanced students and the other one is for your elementary students. But the comprehension question, for example, is exactly the same. Yeah, that's one option. All right. Now, the second option is actually you can pair the advanced and the elementary into pairs and work on the text or work on the assignments that you provide. So they can actually contribute to one another. And I'm really happy that you actually have a two classification, advanced and elementary. Usually it's totally mixed, right? It's like advanced, higher intermediate, elementary. So when we try to pair them together, it's quite challenging for teachers. But in your case, hopefully it's easier. So if you have two categories of students, advanced and elementary, pair them together to do one task, or you change the content of the text with the same, for example, comprehension question or with the same task. So elementary students can understand the content with their level of the language, and of course the advanced too. So they can finish the assignment at the same time. Yeah, that's the two alternatives that I can advise you to do.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ima. Ibu Yani, perhaps you have something to offer for Ibu
To
Niken
be honest,
as well.
Based on my experiences, I don't divide the students based on their skills because it's going to be very hard because so many classes, and also but the point is they have the same competencies that they have to achieve for each semester. So it's just the tips and the technique that probably for the lower grade one, I have to give them more guidance on achieving the target language. So there's no placement based on the grade of their level of English. So just because of the same competencies they have to achieve in their major subject, other major subject. Thank you. That's, I think, for the answer.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Yani. And then earlier, Bapak or Ibu I requested a sample of CPT usage for reflection, and Ibu Ima has just shared the PDF file on the chat box. Please kindly download the file there. Okay, so I think we have covered the two questions shared on the chat box. Is there anyone who would like to ask another question? Probably Ibu Dia or Ibu Umu?
Yes, I'd like to clarify with Mbak Dia. So she was asking me the 3 semester of English courses. Well, actually, I did not mention that, Mbak Dia. So in our campus, most likely the international class program only have like 1 to 2 semester of English, but majority is only 1 semester, which is like two credits. And we provided language courses from Language Center, but it's not included into credits. So it's like alternative courses that they can take. Yeah, so it's not counted into credits atau tidak dihitung di SKS-nya ya kalau yang di provide in Language Center.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ima. I think earlier she refers to the answer shared by Ibu Umu, probably, that at her campus, the English courses are given in 3 semesters. Okay.
Oh, so the question was also, yeah, because I was, what is it like? As Ibu Umu, it's really wonderful. So she's from campus, if I'm mistaken, State Polytechnic of Ambon. Said that it's 3 semester of English. So I'm really glad. Maybe Mbak Umu, you can invite Miss Moderator Mbak Umu to share.
Yeah, Mbak Umu, would you like to share about that with us here? Let me check. Oh yeah, she's still here.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aisyiyah from State Polytechnic of Ambon. Actually, I just started teaching English in State Polytechnic of Ambon for 4 months. So I'm still learning because at the past 5 years, I taught English in academic university. So it's more like teaching English for as a M.Pd in other field of study. But what I learned when I came into this my current campus is that because this is vocational university, they want to integrate English as one of important skills that students have to master after they graduate from the university. So actually, before coming into 3 semesters, so every semester started from first semester, second semester, and third semester, I just got information that English just M.Pd at the university. But finally, when I got another information from our head of department that no, we have 3 semesters of English in a curriculum. So I'm glad because I still have, it means that I have more time and more chance to integrate all the skills in English to give to the students, right? Because when it's only 1 semester in developing the material, some of us as a teacher seems it is hard for us to integrate all the skills into only 2 credit course in only 14 meetings, right? So when I got this chance, I tried to develop my material into 3 phases, right? So start this first semester, I gave them like the students like the idea of basic grammar, how they have to know about the realm of English, probably like the part of speech itself, how to translate with using manual or traditional way, or using AI, for example. Then move to the second semester, I will focus in speaking and listening and speaking. So most throughout the semester, the material is only about listening and speaking. Then move to the third semester, it will be about reading and writing. So hopefully after 4th semester, they can at least master all the skills that need in order to face the life after campus. I think that's all, Ibu. Thank you. Thank you for the chance.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Umu Syaidah, for sharing about the English classes at your university. Okay, now I will sum up the key points shared by our speakers today. Bu Ima has emphasized the 6 principles of content and language integration in higher education principles, especially in ME material development. And among them is the importance of effective teaching collaboration. And then our second speaker, Ibu Yani, has explored 5 steps in designing ESP materials, which include needs analysis, topic decision, language skills identification, ESP-based materials design and digitalization, and the last one is the assessment. Well, a big thank you for our 2 speakers, Ibu Ima and Ibu Yani, for sharing your knowledge with us today. And let's give them a big round of virtual applause. Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you as well to our engaged audience for your active participation and questions. And now I will hand the screen back to our MC, Ibu Fiqih.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Desi. And okay, right, Bapak Ibu, we are going to listen the announcement, like the info session about maybe some like how to be a member of Indonesian ESP teachers community. It will be delivered by Pak Dwi. Pak Dwi, are you still here?
Oh yeah, yes, Ibu Vicky, yeah.
Yeah, please, Pak.
All right. Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Ibu Ima and Ibu Yani, for the sharing. I got so many insights from you. All right. So, Bapak Ibu, allow me to announce several informations. The first one is about the evaluation form. So I would like to encourage you to fill out the evaluation form of today's session through the link shared by the committee members in the chat box. Ibu Erni has shared the link of the evaluation form. So please copy and also paste the form, or directly click the form and fill out the evaluation form, because the form will be used by the committee member to evaluate these events, and also to record your attendance. So if you're willing to get the e-certificate, so I encourage you to fill out the evaluation form right now, because probably we will not share the link on our WhatsApp group, because that's inclusively for the participants in today's webinar. If you haven't, for your information, we have the WhatsApp group for the ESP, Indonesian ESP teachers. If you haven't joined our WhatsApp group, please join. Ibu Erni, I think, has also shared the link to join our WhatsApp group. And the e-certificate will be distributed by the committee members in the next couple of days, because we need sometimes to get the certificate ready. So please be patient, and please update the information on the WhatsApp group, because the link to access the e-certificate will be distributed there. And we also have several social media accounts. The first one is Facebook. You can also join our Facebook account for socialization. And we also have YouTube account where members could view videos of the webinars. So please kindly follow them. The second information is about the membership. Some of the people ask when will we recruit new members. So good news, Bapak Ibu, in February next year, we will open new membership opportunity for those who are willing to become our members. It costs only 100,000 rupiah. With this, you will get benefits such as free e-certificate for our webinars, and also opportunity to become the master of ceremony, moderator, and also presenter in our sharing sessions. We run webinars in two formats. The first one is the members sharing session, like today's session, and the second one is expert sharing session. And once again, if you're willing to become an MC, moderator, and or presenter, please let us know, and we will try to accommodate it. I think that's all, Ibu Vicky, that I can share with the participants today. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Pak Dwi. Okay, don't forget to fill the attendance list, Bapak Ibu. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Indonesian ESP teacher community, we would like to say thank you for our teachers, Ibu Ini, our moderator, Ibu Desi, and all of the participants. See you in the next sharing sessions. Saturday night cruising around the city, looking for a party to the crash. Thank you for the present opportunity. It is such an honor that I cannot get with cash. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bu Vicky.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bapak Ibu.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Ibu,
Mas
Bapak.
Dwi.
Thank you
Thank you,
everyone.
Bima.
Thank you, Bapak Ibu.
Madani,
Thank you.
Desi.
Assalamualaikum.